Hey guys, welcome back. I've avoided talking politics because I really hate the whole red team, blue team thing. But I've seen a lot of people comparing Donald Trump to Hitler, and it's like, can we just not do that? I mean, I understand that the orange man really gets people fired up, but like 6 million people died in the Holocaust. I think the insinuation that Donald Trump has the power to now exterminate 6 million people not only incredibly stupid, but rather offensive. Before we get into it today, there's something I feel like I need to address. I have forgiven my former partner, whether she is sorry or not. I'm choosing not to be sad that it's over, but rather being grateful that it happened. I know that in order for something to hurt that bad, it had to have felt the opposite at one point. So I'm going to focus on the parts of the relationship that brought me overwhelming joy. That was a majority of the relationship anyway. I also want to say I can't monetize any of this. So why put myself out there, Because it just feels good doing shit. We trigger the feel-good chemicals in our silly monkey brains. Creation, whether it's through art or whatever, just feels good. Creating feels better than consuming. I feel much more satisfied creating YouTube videos instead of just watching them. Art is important. Even if it's just macaroni art. I've talked about how I like TV and whatnot. But I just said that mindlessly consuming doesn't feel satisfying. That's why I really like the show South Park, because I'm simultaneously laughing and thinking. I really like channels like Bloom's, Sarek Artman, and Johnny Two Cellos. I love the use of meta-narratives, and I'm always trying to think of the point Matt and Trey are trying to say. That leads me to the subject of Trey Parker and Matt Stone. The documentary 6 Days to Air and all of their interviews shows that they really put a lot of effort and passion into their show. It's obvious that they really care about making a good show, and I relate to that because I'm just trying to make good videos. I'm wearing my Boba Fett hoodie, as you can see, to match the little Boba Fett on my desk. I also have a Boba Fett water bottle. Get ready, because we're about to take a disabled Danny deep dive detour. Boba Fett was trained in bounty hunting by my boy Cad Bane. Star Wars was originally written as an amalgamation of westerns and samurai movies, which George Lucas loved. There's an episode of The Mandalorian and The Clone Wars that are literally beat-for-beat remakes of the movie Seven Samurais. George Lucas literally just took movies he liked, mixed it with classic car culture, and put it in a galaxy far away. Joseph Campbell had already laid out the hero's journey in Man with 1,000 Faces. It was easy to just plop in wizards and space Nazis from there. I mentioned I want to make my videos better. One of the ways I'm trying to do that is by sharing my recovery with you guys. I had physical therapy this week, and it looked like there were just legs in my wheelchair. Get it, because of the camel fleece? I hope you can see me doing these wheelchair exercises. I have a bungee cord that is holding my chair back, and I have to push myself to a certain point. I felt like Derrick Henry or David Montgomery scoring from the goal line. I forgot about this, so it kind of feels like I'm shoehorning it in, but it seriously gets me so fired up.
Football is the greatest sport on the planet for a few different reasons. I hosted the Olympics this summer. The strongest athletes on the planet are Olympic powerlifters. I would venture to say the next strongest group of athletes on the planet are NFL linemen. The athleticism is off the charts. Playing the game of football formed my personality. Life is competition. Life's gonna try and stop you from doing stuff that you wanna do. The toughness, the dedication, the teamwork, the sacrifice, the stick-to-itiveness you gotta have to be a football player at any level. You know this, and maybe I'm preaching right here. I mean it, Jules. I mean it. Football, it shapes character. It shapes human beings, and it transcends just wins-loss on a scoreboard or a witching hour or whatever else. I love the game. That's what football means.
Let's go!
Yeah, baby!
While I'm on the subject of football, I have to just mention that Thursday night game. I'll be doing my NFL recap on Wednesday, but Ja'Marr Chase played Thursday night against the Baltimore Ravens and scored 55 fantasy points. Shout out to the fantasy footballers. But yeah, I had physical therapy on Thursday, and this is my view pretty much every time I travel. I sit in the back, and Cobain. Get it, I'm behind shotgun. But anyway, on my way home from RIM, we always go by the train station, which is a rather iconic area. I also have a pretty unique perspective of the 96 and Telegraph exit. I do yoga when I get home from RIM on Thursdays. I always do my stretches. And the Childs to Cobra to Down Dog sequence. I'm always looking for new ideas to try out, and Becky helps me with that a lot. I was able to get onto a chair to do some warrior poses. And then I did pigeon's pose and pelican's pose on both sides. Not to brag, but I'm pretty flexible. Shout out movement by David. On Friday, I go to Inclusively Fit. I've stated that even though my legs don't work, it's not an excuse to skip leg day. I obviously do other exercises at Inclusively Fit like pull-ups and the crunch machine, because I seriously can't emphasize how important core strength is enough. I don't want to come off douchey, but I always feel so good and accomplished after doing yoga and going to the gym. I mean, most able-bodied people can't do a pull-up. And they probably aren't this flexible. I shouldn't feel as weird as I do about things that are downright impressive. I don't want to brag too much. I feel really weird about it. So I'm going to end it here. I genuinely want to thank anyone who has ever watched or supported me. I talk about my family a lot, but it's really everyone, and I wish I could thank you all personally. Remember to check out my website, disableddanny.com. I already mentioned I really appreciate everyone who supports me, but if you want to subscribe and join the Dan fam, I'd be even more appreciative. I'm going to try and post a link in the description, but it probably won't work because YouTube hasn't verified me yet, despite multiple requests. I feel like the Magicians Alliance from Arrested Development. Like I said, I'm really appreciative of all of you guys, so please be gentle while liking and pressing the bell. I don't want any Dan fans hurting themselves. If you break something, I've realized that's kind of on you. I'll see you Wednesday for the Week 10 recap.
Thanks again. Peace out.